How's it going, Borderlands community? I have some brand new news here for Borderlands 3 in regards to that Twitch extension that I showed you guys some time before. It looks like they might be integrating a second wave or a second version of this. I'm not sure if it's going to be done by the time the game comes out or not. It doesn't give any specific details on that, but this is actually some really cool stuff. They did a panel recently at GuardianCon, main stage of GuardianCon, where they discussed some of accessibility features, stuff like that. But they also talked about some other cool things like colorblind assistance and stuff like that. I think you can see it here. Other accessibility options mentioned including aim assist, toggle for headbutting, auto mantling, running, crouching, stuff like that. Including fully remapped controls for the Xbox, stuff like that. Looks like they really did some good quality of life updates to the game, and they showed some stuff about that. And we saw from the little demo here, there is pinging. If you guys have played something like Rainbow Six Siege, where you can actually ping a certain location, you will actually be able to see that. So if you are two mutes or just don't have a mic or something like that and you play with another player, you will be able to ping out loot and stuff like that for each other, which is really nice if you are doing something like that or you just don't feel like talking. Some other stuff you can see here. Borderlands 3, you don't need to be in a group or playing alongside friends to feel connected to them. Items friends have sold show up in vending machines for you to purchase. That's if they're not even with you. You can use the mail system to send items to each other. You can check friends' inventory, skill trees, challenges, progress via in-game friends list. Furthermore, you'll know when your friends have encountered rare enemies because when you visit the bounty board aboard Sanctuary 3, you'll be offered missions to defeat those same rare enemies in which they are guaranteed to spawn. So they're guaranteed to spawn. If you see your friend, fight a really tough enemy, you have a guaranteed spawn to fight that enemy as well. And it looks like, if you guys have played Borderlands 1, that there's certain dueling areas. And I've always wondered if they were going to bring it back, but it looks like we do in some way. There's 1v1, v1, v1 multiplayer battles where you guys can fight each other to, maybe you have a dispute over something. It's a whole free-for-all. I'm wondering if you could team up and do different things like that. And I'm curious how the level scaling is going to go with that. Whether or not they're going to keep in the level scaling or not, I'm not too sure. But looks like we have some different stuff here. Asynchronous matchmaking lets you play while the system searches for players to pair with you, so you can actually find people to play with. Now here's some of the cooler stuff. The EchoCast version 2. Again, I'm not too sure when this is going to come out, but apparently it's going to be a thing. I don't know. We recommend watching the video introducing version 1 before you read on for the scoop of version 2 announcements that were made during the panel. I'm not too sure, again, when that's going to be available, but hopefully somewhere down the road soon we'll have it because this version 2 actually looks really cool. I recommend going through here and reading all of this. This basically tells you what's going to be happening with the version 2 right here. Moxxi's mixer events are effective way for you to buy streamers in-game cocktails using Twitch bits. So basically what happens is, I'm going to scroll up and you can see it. You see this little extension here. If someone's on Twitch, people can donate bits and can choose what they want the certain cocktail to be, and the actual in-game character drinks it. But here's the twist. Turns out it's not all good stuff. The streamer's Vault Hunter drinks it down and receives either a buff or a debuff. So it could be something bad. It might not be something necessarily good. They talk about having mobile support and subscriber bonuses increase your chance of winning loot during stream. So if there's a subscriber bonus, the chances of loot actually raise. So that's pretty cool. If you're not a drink buying mood, badass viewer events are another fun way to interact with your favorite streamer. So now we have the normal extension where if you do, a loot chest, you pick up something from the game for the loot chest, your viewers can get that also in a random kind of poll, I guess. And we have Moxxi's mixer thing, which is in version 2, and we have this badass viewer event, which is also another thing that we have here as well. The badass viewer event right here. Best viewer event, along with another fun way to interact with your favorite streamers. Not only will you spawn a badass enemy to their game that's named after you or another viewer, but you'll also get to vote on how the badass enemy behaves. Should it heal, taunt, level up, depends on how the badass you want your badass to be. So this can be completely whack. I'm not 100% sure about this. This could be something insane. Basically, depending on the amount of people who donate and go for this badass viewer event or this boss or whatever, you could spawn in some really powerful dudes. And the cool thing is it has the viewer's name. So one viewer out there could spawn a very tough dude in your game, and you'll have to fight him. It'll have his name. It seems here that they actually can taunt, speak, level up. So they can become really, really high level and they're a very hard boss. I don't know if maybe you just eventually just have to leave because there's such a high level. There's just no way you can do that. But looking at what it shows here, it looks like there's unlimited taunts, unlimited speaking. I'm not too sure about the level up. Maybe you can only level up one time or it's a certain chance. The heal only goes for 5 seconds. So they couldn't heal, just constantly. There's some delay with the healing and the leveling up, which I think is needed. I'm very curious to see, just how broken this is going to be. I think the Moxxi's mixer thing isn't as bad. Hopefully the debuffs aren't too bad, because what could happen here? Some of these bigger streamers, you could get a debuff from Moxxi's cocktail and then spawn in a boss that's super, super hard to kill. That could ruin a run. I'm also curious if, the actual streamer itself has to click when those things happen, or if it just happens automatically. If it happens automatically out of nowhere, I wonder if you can go into a boss fight and then have a badass viewer boss fight happen right at the same time. I'm really curious to see how all of that is going to go. I definitely think that a lot of this might not be something that we get to play immediately. It seems like a lot of this is still in beta. Seeing how they called it version 2, that leads me to believe that it's not going to be out for a good little while. These seem like really cool features, and I'm glad we have that. Just the fact that we have an extension at all that does some of this cool stuff already is really cool, but I can't wait to see what other kind of stuff they go on to do. There it is. There's the colorblind thing. I'm really curious to see what they'll go on to do with the extension, if they'll keep adding more. Version 2 seems really cool. I can't wait to play with these certain settings and really just see, Borderlands is already a game that's really random to begin with. So now I feel like it's going to be even more wild and different if you're streaming it. I'm glad they took the time to really do some really cool stuff with the streaming. It seems like Gearbox really knows what they're doing over there, seeing as the enemies, the Eclipse Twins, are kind of like streamers in a way, that they're helping out streamers so much already with Twitch and stuff like that. You could definitely see the parallels there, that they seem to be very high tech. They seem to be very with the community, and I love that. I love that feeling. I've always loved that feeling with Borderlands and how connected and stuff like that they are with their community. But I cannot wait to see, how exactly this is going to go. And so I read over the colorblind thing. So you might appreciate that all the important loot in Borderlands 3 makes a noise when it drops depending on its rarity. So certain rarity color drops, it actually makes a noise depending on what type of rarity it's going to be. Okay, when you pick up the loot, its rarity is spelled out for you on the loot card as well as indicated by its color, other accessibility options mentioned, including blah, blah, blah. So if you do have colorblind, issues, if you are colorblind in certain ways, you basically will be all right because it'll actually spell out the rarity for you, and you will hear a different audio cue when going in. I think it would be just cool in general to have the audio cue, cue and the actual colorblind assistance thing on, maybe if you're not even colorblind, because there's been a lot of times where I've seen a gun drop and I have to squint. I'm like, is that money? Is that a legendary? I can't see it very well. I think that's just cool to have it in general. I think Borderlands 2 had some help with that as well. Or maybe pre-sequel actually spelled out the rarity. I'm not too sure. I feel like one of the games did that, but I'm not too sure. But I'm glad this one has it so all people can enjoy the game. Obviously, no matter what, I'm glad everybody's able to do this, and the pinging, stuff like that. They really went all out with the whole, quality of life choices in this game. It definitely seems to me that they're trying to hit all fields. The solo guy, the guy who wants to, rank up by himself, and maybe you want to go join your friends at some point, but you don't want to have to be messed up because you're like 10 levels ahead of them, this and that, yada yada. With the new Borderlands 2 DLC coming out, I felt that so much, because like people were spawning at level 30, and like they didn't have good loot because they didn't play up to level 30, and they didn't have like any badass challenges done. It was just a really convoluted mess. But like I said, the number one thing about this game is the quality of life. It is so good. And the movement, being able to climb up walls and jump and stuff like that. And there's auto mantle now with those settings. I can't wait to just go through the settings list. Borderlands 2 had a huge settings list. I feel like this one is going to have even more. But you know what? That just makes that just tailors to your gameplay style even more, no matter who you are. So I'm glad they took the amount of time they did to make this game. It seems like they're really, try to support everybody with this. But if you guys like this video, please consider subscribing. If you want to see more of these, like this video. That lets me know that you guys like these types of videos. I have a new video coming out very soon. They did a big, slew of information about this game. But I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you for watching.